Yeah, we're back. Did you even think we'd get this far for reals? Welcome to episode 3 of the KP podcast. I hope you're all having a banging week at the moment. And this is the first episode we're recording where it's not even nighttime because I start work late today. So I figured, bugger it, not doing anything else. Let's just record one. Sorely unprepared for this. Still haven't got myself a mic stand either, so if the mic falls over like it has in the last 2 episodes, then fucking whatever, it happens. But yeah, here for the awesome conversation because right now, as I'm recording, we're in the midst of the pandemic, and I don't accidentally say I mean the pandemic. Coronavirus, baby. I'm sure you've all heard about it. Everyone's going mad picking up all this fucking supplies, picking up all the toilet paper, and they're just going nuts. And I mean, I don't care. Like, I know it's probably terrible, but for real, I don't care. I'm still going to work. I'm still doing me. But, like, yeah, it's just like this is not impacting anything yet. Obviously it is, but I mean, like, from my very small-minded mind, it's just fuck off. I don't need an update. Never check for updates, baby. That's the option we need. Never check, but it checks anyway. Fucking annoying. Sure is. Anyway, what I want to say about coronavirus, I saw something today because I was driving back from where was I? My girlfriend's house. I was driving back, and I fucking saw a guy cross 4 lanes of traffic. He crossed the road to get away from the other side, and the other side had Asian people on it, and he crossed over and he looked at them the whole time when he was walking past. And I'm just like, dude, you're an asshole. What kind of fucking, not even subtle, okay? Just straight across the fucking road, looking at them. Bro, that's like kicking sand in a kid's face and just laughing, standing there in front of it, laughing while the parents run over. Like, you're not subtle, and we all know you did it, bro. I really hope that guy, I'm not going to say that, it's fucking terrible, because he probably is. That's the other thing I wanted to say about coronavirus. Oh, what was it? It was like probably 2 days ago. The Prime Minister came out and he said he's elevated it to pandemic stage. Right? Now, anyone who knows anything knows that pandemic stage is just another phase of like a response to something like this. It's just another phase. It is a serious phase. It's very serious, but it's not pandemic as in like Contagion, that movie. You remember fucking Contagion, where ironically it kicked off because of a bat as well. Spoiler alert for Contagion, a bit late, whatever. But the thing is, so the Prime Minister came out and elevated it publicly to pandemic stage, and oh my god, people have gone bananas. Okay, they're crossing the streets. Okay, dude, I was at Macquarie Centre, which is usually hustle and bustle around dinner time yesterday. Was there having some food and had the place to ourselves. Might as well have been the place to ourselves because there was fucking no one around. And we just sat down, had our food, had a great time, right? And we left. And we were in and out within the hour because there was no line. There was no waiting around for people to find a parking spot. We were just in and out. And you know what's going to happen? Like, I'll get back to the Prime Minister part in a sec. But, you know, if this gets to, like, quarantine stage where you got to stay at your house, like, everyone just has to stay at their house, guess who's not staying at their house? Me! I'll tell you why. I'll tell you exactly why. Because I've... the thought of being in, like, a... in like an apocalyptic scenario, it was like always fascinating. and you're always like, oh, what would I do? But the thought of being in an apocalyptic scenario where the only threat is if you walk into someone else's house because they have it, that's a golden ticket, mate. I'm breaking the rules. I'm going 50 in a 40 zone. That's what I'm doing, bro. I'm going to just ride my pushy and I'm not going to wear a helmet. You know why? Because there's no one to avoid because they're all hiding inside. Oh my God, dude. Could you imagine though if you were walking around outside and like, I don't know, say it was martial law and the army, the fucking army walked around the corner and you're just like there, no helmet on, on your pushy. And they go, return to your homes immediately. Return to your homes. And I'm like, first off, I'd shit my pants. I'm not kidding you. If I saw the military on the northern beaches and I'm riding my bike with no helmet and they scream at me with their fucking megaphones, return to your homes, mate, I'm returning to my home with shit in my pants. But for real though, like, I'd probably panic and I'd run into some random person's house just to at least avoid the army. So I get in the front yard, pretend like it's my house. Like, oh yeah, I was just out and this is my house. And I'd pull up and I'd open the door and I'd walk in and oh my God, the reaction of that family. It's one of them! It's one of the infected! Get him! Oh my God, dude. Could you fucking imagine being marked as quote, quote, the infected? If it got to that stage, I don't know how to react. Zombie apocalypse, but like everyone's just sneezing a lot. That's a bit boring to be completely honest. You heard that sip, you know what that means. KP's having another cup of tea. Because I live on tea, baby. That's all I do. You out there drinking water or Powerade? Those two specific drinks is everyone drinks apparently. You know, totally not inaccurate. And I'm just here having my English breakfast. Doesn't matter if it's 40 degrees. Doesn't matter if it's 2 degrees. I'm having the English breakfast, mate. And I won't even have it at breakfast time. I'll have it at dessert time. I'll have a cup of tea for dessert. That's how much I love cups of tea. Anyways, got off on a tangent there. Need to come back because I want to mention something that also happened on the same day that the Prime Minister elevated it to pandemic stage. I read this headline. I read this headline probably like 2 hours after that announcement had been made. And it said, direct quote, expert says every Australian will get coronavirus. Let me just say that again. Expert says every Australian will get coronavirus. Every Australian. And this is piggybacking off the same, off the fucking escalation to pandemic stage, okay? Dude, we are talking about, like, and they're saying don't panic. This is what I'm getting at. They're saying don't panic. You're saying don't panic to people who have panicked and stopped buying the beer Corona because of the name of the virus. And you've now escalated it to pandemic stage. And those motherfuckers been playing Plague Inc., alright? They know what pandemics are. So they're shitting the bed. Quite literally by the looks of it, because there's no fucking toilet paper left on the on the shelves. And then you get an expert to come out, nameless expert, by the way. Who the fuck said that? To tell everyone that we're guaranteed to get it. Guaranteed. What the fuck? You might as well just tell everyone that there's a fucking Scud missile on the way, but don't worry. Don't worry about it, man. You know, you're gonna get chem bombed in the next 2 hours. Don't even think about it, because you won't see it coming then, and you won't be worried. You live the last 2 hours of your life in peace. My goodness gracious. I get they're trying to avoid a panic, but there's a panic. No one wants to admit it, though. I don't want to admit it. I mean, did you hear me? I just said I'm going out about my business unaffected, because I'm honestly not panicked. I'm just interested to see what's next, you know? It's like a fucking movie. How can you seriously escalate it to pandemic stage and then let an expert tell everyone we're going to get it and then, like, draw the conclusion, like you got the fucking plot map or whatever they're doing? Okay, PM says this, expert says this, conclusion, no panic. What are you fucking talking about? Jesus Christ, dude. Some people are fucking stupid. Oh. Speaking of fucking stupid people, hang on, I need to just fucking rehydrate for this one. I gotta tell you something. So we're at, like, dating the episode heaps. I don't even know if that fucking matters. I don't care. I'm at the end of my working week. And much like the average person, I'm at the end of my rope. I'm okay. Dude, when I'm at work, I have a banging time usually. But when you get home and you start reminiscing on some shit that happened, you're just like, what the fuck is actually going on with some people? Because it's so unbelievable. I'll give you a brief rundown, dude. Like, I started this week on my work week on Sunday, and when I got up out of bed and looked at myself in the mirror, I was so shitty with the world. I did not want to go to fucking work. I was just like, everyone can fucking die. And that's almost a direct quote, mate. That's almost a direct quote. But I sucked it up because your boy ain't no bitch. I ain't calling in sick because I'm like, I don't want to go. That's fucking stupid. Don't want to drop the R-bombs just yet because they're coming. Anyway, I got in the car, went to work, did the usual rounds to get there, got a cup of coffee, and bro, I think it was 90% because of the coffee. It just totally hit the right spot, man. Because I went from being the shittiest person in the world to the best person in the world. I actually may have come off like a bit of an asshole in a few instances because I was so happy that I would like people would come at me with these problems that they think are so challenging, and I'd scoff at them. Oh, that's all? Let me show you how to fix that in 3 easy steps. Could you imagine spending your whole week getting angry at something that you've bought and you try and return it, and a fucking 20-year-old dweeb behind a counter tells you, just push this and it will do this, and then suddenly it works? Imagine building up that argument in your head that you're going to take to the bank, right? You're taking it to the bank, and you can't even cash the check. Talk about blue balling. They probably go home and kick the dog because I fixed it. Anyways, fucking stupid people. I got to tell you about this lady. I still think this happened like 3 days ago, and I still don't know like exactly how to verbalize why this is so dumb. But look, you'll hear the story. So, by force of habit, me being the checkout chick that I am, by force of habit, I automatically assume people are going to pay with a card. You know why? Because it's in 2020, mate. In fact, so many people pay with card that they've managed to melt their card onto their phone in a digital format, and they don't even pull their wallet out anymore. So how long until we don't need wallets? Fucked if I know. The point is, 90% of the human race uses cards, and that's not even an unfair statement. I guess I should, to make it fair, I should specify first world people use cards. Let me set the scene. I'm there at my till, and I'm feeling good. I'm having a good time. You know why? We got good music playing. I've had a laugh with a few people, and it's a good day. We have this lady come up, and she just wants to make a purchase. That's fine. By force of habit, I'm there just... That sound there? That is the sound of me hitting the enter key. Because the more you hit enter, the faster the FPOS machine will activate. And I want my customers going through quickly, because that means there's room for more customers. And that means there's room for more money going through, which means I'm more likely to get a bonus. It's all about the dollars, boys. So I activate the FPOS machine, and this lady hasn't even yet pulled out her wallet. And I'm fine with that. because I'm ready to go when she is. And she goes, she pauses. And I'm expecting her to say something about the price, because usually a pause means that, like, hey, I thought it was this price on the thing. Whatever, I can make that happen, usually. But she paused, and she looked at me, and she had this fucking flash in her eyes of like, like she's got a zing coming, okay? And she looks at me and says, interesting, you would assume that I would use card. And I don't really have anything to say to that, because fuck you for saying that. Do you know what I mean? Interesting, I would assume that you would use card. Interesting that I would assume that you would be a sheep like everyone else. Yeah, sorry, miss. I forget that you're so unique. That's fine. So I didn't say any of that, obviously. I was just like, oh, you must be paying cash then. So I cancel the FPOS, go to the cash option, and I wait. The bitch pulls out her wallet and produces a MasterCard. Oh! Oh! What are you talking about? I'm not kidding you. I am not kidding you. It took a lot for me to not just rip her apart. Okay? Okay, because, and it actually came out a little bit, because you know what I said? I looked at her in the eyes and I did the most sarcastic, exacerbated raise of my arms, and I just turned slightly to the 90-degree angle to the right, raised my arms in the air, looked at God, and I said, and she's paying with card anyway. Ha ha! And she didn't even smile. What the fuck are you doing? It's interesting you would assume that I would pay with card. And they use card anyway. You just fucking... Oh, dude, you just know that she thought that she was gonna zing me. Okay? Zing? No. You're looking at a guy who eats KFC Zinger boxes like they're going out of style. You're looking at a guy who shops at Zing for Pokemon cards. Fuck off. That's what I got to say to you, bitch. Fuck off. Don't even try and make a point if you're gonna do that thing that you're making the point about. That's like saying that you're vegan while sucking milk out of a cow's udder. That's sexual assault. I'm sure. And the thing is too, the thing about that as well, and this is where like it's probably going to get a bit serious. That was probably her one win of the day that she was going for. That was like, you know, like, I don't know, let's go. She's just taken on Sydney traffic. Oh, that'll kill you. She's taken on Sydney traffic to drive all the way here. She gets out of the car and steps in a puddle. How unfortunate. Soggy shoes. Nothing worse than soggy shoes. So she's like, damn, I'm looking for a win. I got to get a leg up somehow. So she starts walking. Steps in another puddle because she's fucking stupid and can't see water. Kind of like a cat can't see water unless it's moving. That's kind of what she's like. And she's walking along. And she comes to a zebra crossing. Her right of way. She has right of way. Could this be the win? She takes one step onto the crossing. Looks left, look right. She sees a car. SUV. Whoa! Cuts her off completely. And she realizes, my win is not here. Defeated, the woman walks beyond the crossing and into the shopping centre. Looking left and right, she can't help but notice the sea of people that are intruding on her path. Her path. So she begins to walk through, straight lined, because she is a level-headed person who knows where she's going. And she just walks, and no one gets out of her way. So she's doing that weird little, sorry, shit, excuse me, sorry, that sort of shit. So her win isn't there either. Now, keep in mind that every win she doesn't get, in her mind, is a loss. An absolute loss. Now, that's okay though. The day is young. And though she's being bumped around like a pinball in the middle of a food court and fucking middle of the day on a fucking, what day was it? I don't remember. Monday. It was Tuesday. On a Tuesday? That's okay. Because she's going to find a win elsewhere. Now remember, she was a strong, level-headed person and she knew where she was going. Well, she walked straight to where it was and that shop closed down. And now she doesn't know where she's going anymore. She's just taken the amnesia pill from The Binding of Isaac. Where the fuck do you go from here? So, she's getting pissed now. She's getting pissed. She needs that win, bro. She got the soggy shoes. She's been bounced around like a pinball. And the SUV prick cut her off. Nothing is more important right now than getting that win. So she knows where she can get the win. She goes into our store. And she looks around for a little bit. And she finds exactly what she wants. Hey, that's a small win. This is the item that I have sorely desired for so long and put a lot of thought into purchasing. And I've got it. And that's a small win. Could she have left it at that and just made the purchase? No. She wants another win. She's taken 3 losses so far and only 1 win. That ratio, that's out of whack, baby. Because we want a 2-to-1 win-to-loss ratio. That's what we want. So she walks up to your boy, Captain Zing. And she tries to do a little bit of, oh, you kids these days all just use technology bullshit. You know why we use fucking technology? Because it's good, right? I'm not afraid to say it. I fucking love my phone. Tells me everything I want to know, does exactly what I want it to do, and it's a perfect distraction to get away from fuckwits like you. Could you imagine if I was just, stuck with no device, standing there, and you said that, and I just, and I had to rate the conversation somehow? What would I do? Just say, I just got a fucking fax. No one ever used a fax to run away from a conversation. Nobody. I fucking believe that. Could you imagine? Oh, bro, could you imagine if someone was like, I think my courier pigeon's arrived, and they just fucking ran off? You're lying if you haven't used your phone, your cellular device, to make a pretend call to get away from someone. Actually, I have done it. I just don't do it nowadays, though, because for real, if I don't want to talk to you, I'll make the conversation awkward. I'll just do that. And there's ways to do that are so good. I mean, not necessarily to make it awkward. There's a multitude of ways to do that. But if you know the conversation's going to get awkward, and I don't know, myself, I don't feel that awkwardness. Do you know what I mean? Like, a great example is when a customer's getting angry, okay? When a customer's getting angry and they start rattling off about how angry they are, how wrong we are, how right they are. The best thing you can do is let them go. You just let them talk. And do you know how to make that conversation awkward right at the end? You got to lead. You got to kind of corral them like a raging bull. You got to corral them verbally a little bit. And it's a fine art. I've fucked it up plenty of times. But when you get it right, it's the fucking best feeling in the world. It makes my dick hard. Straight up. In fact, it makes my dick so hard that if I was a waiter and I could only carry 2 plates before, I can now carry 3 because I'm that fucking erect. The way you do it is, say there's the person and they're getting angry. You don't ask them, why are you angry? You say, I hear you. I understand. And the point is you stop talking. You just say, I hear you. I understand. Stop. Now, what you've done there is you've returned the serve. Okay, we're playing verbal tennis here, and you've gone. I can't do a tennis noise, but it's back over the line. Now, keep in mind, this is a corralled bull. They're fucking angry. So on your return serve there, they're fucking winding up that big swing. Okay, and they go, and they usually, and listen to this for real, because if you get in an actual argument and you hear this, you know you're winning. If they repeat exactly the same point prior to what like from when you return it and they say the same thing but in a different way, you know you're winning because their point is running out. Okay? And here's the thing about getting angry and really blowing up is once you're blown up, there's nowhere else to go. So if you want to get in an argument, just stay calm. You could feel as angry as you want. You can feel so angry. But if you stay calm and just let them blow up, you will win because they will eventually run out of things to be angry about, but they will still want to carry it on and they will start making no sense. Anyways, so they return your serve and they've put their all into it, mate. Okay? There's a little bit of friction burn coming off on that ball and it's flying back at you. They've just fucking thrown it at you and it's your turn to respond. Now, here's the thing, especially in a real game of tennis, if someone puts all of their energy into swinging that ball back at you, you actually don't have to swing your racket. You could just stand there and just put it in the way of the ball, and all of the energy from that person's last ball will go back to them, and it'll be fine. Now, the way to do this is, and I did this the other day, actually. We had a customer getting angry at one of my staff mates. Because they'd misplaced a gift card. They'd misplaced the gift card, but they had a portion of the gift card number on an old receipt that they'd used that card on. I know that's a mouthful. The point is, they've lost their gift card. Don't give a shit. If you threw money in the bin, actually, I'm going to fucking spoil the zing here. Anyways, so the gift card is MIA. And I get a call to go up and help. And I go over and I'm like, yo, what's going on? And this was not before I heard them give my workmate a little bit of a serve because they're like, well, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. And I'm like, oh, here we go. The bull is out of the pen. And I love this shit because it makes me laugh. So the bull's out of the pen and she's had a jab at my staff mate. Now, I don't know, like, I'm not trying to white knight or anything, but don't fucking have a go at anyone, okay? And if you're going to have a go at someone, have a go at me, because I'll take it, and I'll turn it back on you, and it'll be fucking hilarious. I feel so bad for some of my staff, though, who cop it, because, like, you know, they're just there to do the job. I'm there because I need stories, because I've got a podcast to maintain now, if you can't tell. Fucking hell, I'm taking so long to tell this story. Point is, she's doing her block, and I just come in. I'm like, yo, how can I help? And she goes, I need my gift card reissued. And I said, okay. And then she goes, so how can you do that? And I'm like, I'm about to answer, and she cuts me off, and she goes, I've got all the information I need. Now, in my humble experience, no, you don't is the answer to that question. So I do the first bit of verbal tennis, and I'm serving this time. What information have you got? And she slaps her phone onto the counter, and she slides it over, and I look down, and it's a receipt. It's a photo of her receipt, and I do the biggest power move you can ever do in an argument. I look down at the details that she's got, of which none of them would help, and I look at her. Don't even say anything. I just look at her and I go, That, is the biggest power move you could ever do. And let me tell you why. I know I'm dragging on this podcast here. I'm trying to keep it to half an hour, but I just fucking love the sound of my own voice. Anyways, the reason why, is the power move is because you get people who are so angry and so fired up and so sure of themselves that not only cools them down, but it throws everything back on them. Everything. And I'll tell you why. In her mind, she's got all the information, which, as we know, she doesn't. But in her mind, she does. Being the bitch she is, she won't listen to me when I tell her that's the case. So when she says she has all the information, I put everything on her to produce all of the information. So when I go, it heavily implies that there is more details needed without me having to say it. And it worked a fucking treat on this lady because She fucking got flustered, dude. She got flustered. She like went on her phone and started flicking through the photos like she had more, like as if it was going to appear. And I didn't have to do anything. I just went fucking, Anyways. Fucking hell, dude. It's so good. It's so good watching people get like that. Like, I'm happy to help. Hey, let me say something. I am happy to help. I can help you so much. In fact, I could do the whole thing for you. I could. But if you're a prick, no, you don't get customer service. You just get, Anyways, I gotta tell you how the story ended. So she's flicking through all the details, all the photos, getting flustered. And this comes back to kind of how you make a conversation awkward. Rather than me interject, just let him go. I'll let her do that. Because it's given me more and more power. And you know what it's loading up? It's loading up the logic bomb. The logic bomb, I'm going to do a bit more of an explanation on that next episode, I think, because it's not going to be done justice in this time. But I had my logic bomb loaded up, ready to go. I've hit her with a and I'm ready to blow her away. So when she finally works out she has no more information, she looks at me and she tries to do this one. What are you going to do about it? That right there is probably my favorite question. What am I going to do about it? I ask myself that every day. I ask myself that before she even began looking through her phone. I was like, what am I going to do about this? And I decided the logic bomb was the correct move. So I've had the mental munitions factory working away tirelessly, right? We got slave labor on this one because it's fucking petty what I said. But it's so logic, okay? It's a logic bomb. When she said, what are you going to do about it? I said, could I see your receipt again? And she pulls it up as like, a little bit of hope. It's so fucking bad. That little bit of hope, like, oh yeah, here it is. And and I looked at it, and I grabbed one of our actual gift cards, and I showed her, like, you do have some information, so it gives her a bit of credit, more hope for her. You do have some information, but it's not enough. And I explained to her why, because she's missing a bunch of numbers. And then she goes, well, how do you get them back? And I said, you've got to call the card guys and see if they'll help you. And she goes, why don't you do it? That pissed me off a little bit. She said, why don't you do it? And I looked at her dead in the eye with my logic bomb loaded. It was flying out, all right? It was on the plane. And I launched it at her. I said, if you threw $100 cash in the bin, would you expect me to pull $100 cash out of my till and hand it to you? Now, you know how a logic bomb works? You know how it worked? Okay? Do you know how I fucking got this person? Is because she went from being the top in this situation to the bottom in one statement. When I said, would I take money out of the till? She actually didn't have an answer. She walked away, but not before doing the fucking best thing that you can do. The perfect sign of defeat in my mind is when you go, I don't even know if my mic's going to pick that up, but when you go, you do like a shrug half, like, and you leave. Do you know how defeated you are when you go from, what are you going to do about it? I have all the information. I'm right. You're wrong. Get it done. To you go from that way down to and walking out without looking back. Oh, that's the power of the logic bomb, ladies and gents. You fucking absolutely destroy these cunts. Dude, don't even fucking try coming at me with that shit. Don't even fucking try it. Because I've seen it all before. And you're too much fucking fun to make fun of. I didn't even make fun of you. This is the thing. And I actually told my girlfriend about this the other day. And she said, like, she probably went and wrote a complaint. Now, let me say something. Fair go if you want to write a complaint. I wasn't very helpful. But you were also a cunt. Let's not forget that part. Now, the reason why I'm not afraid of complaints at all is nowhere along the line in that story did I actually insult this person. And that's what they'd be banking on. That is what they would be banking on. If they get home and they're writing a complaint, I guarantee by the second paragraph of this story, of that situation, they would have worked out that they were in the wrong. Well and truly. Because their argument is that we didn't give them free money. Plain and simple. We didn't give them free money. They lost a card and expected free money. And when we didn't provide, that's what we got. As if I give a shit. And the point is, and yeah, I guess I do give a shit, just told you a fucking 20-minute story about it, but it's not necessarily about the person specifically, it's about the way you take on these people, because they all want to get a power move going, okay? And they start with all the power. And I'll be honest, they start with all the power because they have all the information. They do. I know this is like very backwards to what I just said, but they have everything in their mind, if that makes sense. They know what's up. But when they start talking, they rip themselves apart. No one is ever, very rarely do you get in a conversation with someone that is that well put together and you can just go step 1, 2, 3 and you're done. The point is, people like that you don't have to argue with because you've got it done. The other sort who aren't ready, they come in guns a-blazing, run out of bullets halfway through the war, and get a fucking nuclear bomb dropped on them. And Bob's your uncle. Anyway, what I'm saying is, when you want to make a conversation awkward, just throw it back on them. The verbal tennis match. That's what you need. Let them put all their energy into their swing, and just give them. Don't ignore them, but give them just enough to show that you're listening and you are still listening, but not answering. You don't have to produce an answer at every point, and you don't have to justify every point that you make. Which is why when you go, it really fucking throws them off. Oh man. Yeah, well, we're gonna have to change the fucking time frame to the 40-minute podcast because I only got through like two of my points here from my little notes. Anyway, fucking hell, love a tangent. Love the sound of my own voice. My cup of tea is probably like lukewarm. That's how we like it. I'm gonna have to get a better mug, I think. Anyways, I think that'll do for episode 3. That was pretty fun. I had a good time, actually. I'm thinking, like I said last episode, we're building up a little bit of a catalogue, so all of these are going to be out of time order until a little bit. I'm thinking 5 episodes. 5 episodes will cover me for a fair while, especially because next week, I was actually thinking of starting it next week with 4 episodes, you upload episode 1 next week after recording episode 4, and slowly but surely it would catch up. But I'm away next week. I'm going out into the fucking bush, and I'm going to go have some beers and a dance, and we're going to just go do a bush stuff. It's going to be fucking sick, because Lauren's mates, they organise some pretty cool stuff sometimes. Lots of times, actually, I should say. Yeah, pretty cool. Anyways, thank you for listening. Around that time as well, around the time I actually start uploading these, I'm going to make a post on my rap Instagram, because it's called KP Official. I figure I could just, rather than make a whole new Instagram, I'll just slap the podcast on that, see how it goes. But I'm going to start putting some Instagram things together, and I may even live stream one of the episodes. I'll record it, and I'll have the live stream set up on my phone, and then you guys can look at me while I do it, and it'll be fucking, I don't know, it'll be a fucking cool time. Anyways, thank you so much for enjoying, and if you keep enjoying, I don't know, it depends where I upload it, but give it a like or whatever. Fucking share it with your friends, actually. Just share it with your friends. You don't even have to drop a like. Just say, hey, you heard this dickhead rant about work while he drinks cups of tea? It's pretty cool. And then your mates will be like, oh, it's fucking not. But I'll just be like, you know what? Fuck you. I'll load up another logic bomb for you. Anyway, thank you so much for listening for the third final time. Have a sick one, boys. See you next week.